The world is a stage, so I'm going to share with you an experience that I went through where I played a part. These food banks have some of the most broken souls you will find. People with addictions, people that are damaged in all kinds of ways. You could say that they are the outcasts of society, the ones that have all kinds of psychological damage, often on all kinds of medication, antipsychotic pills, pills for deep rest, depression, ones that have not found it within themselves, their inner strength. And I dwelt amongst them. Now don't be fooled that these food banks are something good. They are recruiting grounds by a pack of wolves that are preying on the vulnerable. And so one of the volunteers, as she put the plated up meals on the table, looked up at the ceiling and said, "Thank the Lord." To which I could not help myself but to say, "What, the smoke detector?" Clearly this woman was off-ended because she was not in control of her vessel, because she was clinging to a belief system that I had challenged. The next thing, she disappeared into the kitchen, and I am now confronted with another woman who comes out, marches towards me with a face of thunder, sits down beside me, and barks at me. "And what do you believe in?" To which I responded, "I do not believe in anything. I am talking from experience." So let's just go back over that scene. Oh, before I do, help comes from the most unlikely sources. It caused an upset in the kitchen amongst 7 volunteers. The number 7 is highly significant. As I found out later, the story unfolded. There was nearly a mutiny, and all 7 volunteers walked out of that kitchen in my defense, using scripture, of all things, to defend me. It was put to this lady, even if he was the devil, you cannot turn him away. And if you do, we are all walking out. So let's go back over the scene and let's put that in a biblical role. It's a church. So Jesus goes into the temple and upturns the moneylenders' tables. I have disturbed their minds because they have invested in something that is external, which is totally false. It is not external of any of you. It is within you. Do you not realize that Christ is within you, as it says in Scriptures? So this lady that came out with the face of thunder, she played the part of the rabbi that is accusing me of blasphemy. We do not stone you for good works that you do, but we stone you for your blasphemy. And who was the first blasphemer? The other people, the outcasts, are the modern day representation of the lepers, the ones that are outcast from society, that are thought of as being diseased. And they are diseased because they are not at ease within themselves, because they have turned to various forms of addiction, alcoholism, drugs, cocaine, Valium, you name it, the whole spectrum. And I dwelt amongst them. The world is a stage. You may not recognize the scene, But if you recognize the story and how it plays out, and it continuously plays out over and over again in an infinite loop, because this is a loopy world, it circles back on itself. Consider the number 8. Now, whether you want to see it in an upright form or laying on its side as a metaverse, right in the middle of that 8, that loop, there is a cross or an X. But if you nail yourself to a belief system, the crux is the fiction. Crux I fiction. What I is it trying to nail? What cross is it? Are you nailing yourself to? Because you maintain that belief system. But do you know it to be true? Is it just hearsay, which is a heresy? Are you just blindly going on along with others? As a volunteer in such a place, the saying, good intentions, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Because something that is often untrue looks very appealing. It's the adversary, it is the advertising. It is all to entice you, to draw you in, to get your attention. But if you are on a shore side, if you are on the shore, if you are standing on firm ground, on terra firma, you're able to say, cast your nets on the other side, and you will have an abundance. You will have 153 fishes. There is only one. You're in 5 senses, and there is a trinity. 1 and 5 and 3 add up to 9, which is a symbol of completion.